Yes guys, what's going on? Welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Adam McCullough. We are back for another Gazzetta United. I have got a coffee. I have got the papers. Well, a couple of the papers because there's a few of them scumbags that we ain't buying. But we are here to talk all things English football. Manchester United, the Premier League's back. It kicked off yesterday. Some big games, some entertaining games as well. And plenty of goals about. And we'll be looking at all the headlines that have come off the back of that. Hope you guys are all doing well. How's your week been? You feeling good? 1 week to go until Manchester United are involved in the Premier League. Still got a bit of transfer business to do. Oh, it's going to be a long one, isn't it? And it's going to go straight to October the 5th with these transfers as well, I imagine. Although there's reports United want Jadon Sancho in before that first game of the season, it's looking very unlikely. And we could be in for the long haul this transfer window. But make sure you're subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. Because here on Stretford Paddock, we will have you covered every single step of the way. But today, like I said, we're looking at these back pages. And on this back page of the Mirror, we have got the big red machine as Mo Salah celebrates his hat-trick yesterday. And it's easy to see why Coleman is after him for Barca, the headline also says. So is Coleman after Mo Salah? Barcelona after Mo Salah? We've heard rumours of that before, but didn't seem likely this time around. You're hearing about potentially Memphis going in there and a few other different players into Barcelona. I don't think there's anything in that. I don't think they're going to tempt Mo Salah away from Liverpool, but he was looking in good form yesterday, wasn't he? Unfortunately, I had to watch that game. Liverpool beating Leeds. I was hoping they could have held on for a draw. Well, beyond both teams losing, that obviously can't happen. And we were watching it on the kickoff. Thanks to True Geordie and the guys for having me on the show. And he looked in really, really good form. Obviously, 2 of his goals were from the penalty spot, but you still have to score him. And his other goal that was from open play was a fantastic strike. But Liverpool look like they can get got at. Leeds obviously scored a fair amount of goals, and Leeds are going to cause problems for a lot of teams this season. A lot of teams, especially with the tactics and the things that, you know, Marcelo Bielsa can spring on teams. I think they're going to be a problem. They're definitely going to be a problem for a lot of teams, and you know, it may help those around us to drop points. Obviously, we've got big games against Leeds as well. So interesting times ahead, and despite the rivalry, despite the hatred, it's always good to have Leeds in the league, so you can look forward to those games, isn't it? Games with a little bit of edge to them, a little bit of edge. But that was a crazy start to the season game yesterday, and we've got another headline here saying Prem fear no fans until 2021. Concerns are growing that fans will not be allowed in the Premier League games until the new year. Now, we were hoping to see some fans in the game for the Crystal Palace match, which is United's first game in the league, but that's obviously been scrapped because it looks like we're going to go into a little bit more of a lockdown here in the UK. And it looks like sport may now be put on the back burner yet again in terms of getting fans back into these Premier League grounds. It was going to be a 12,000 attendance test at Old Trafford for that Palace game. Obviously, now it's not going to happen. It's going to be behind closed doors again, which is a shame. I can't wait to get back in the stadiums. And even if it is, like, obviously, with a season ticket, I can go to every home game. But if you're only allowing 12,000 fans into the ground, you're probably only going to get to 1 in 4 of those games if you're lucky. So, yeah, I just can't wait to be able to watch a little bit of football, man. That's not on the television. United shock as well here. It says Solskjaer Maguire is still my skipper. How is that a shock? How the fuck is that a shock? Unless you're being sarcastic, I don't know. Inside the newspaper, we've also got United I Bale if it's Sanch. No. Very creative there. Man United will swoop for Gareth Bale if they fail to land top target Jadon Sancho. According to sources close to the club, the Old Trafford hierarchy are preparing to turn to the Real Madrid outcast as their hunt for England ace Sancho continues to hit problems. United are still refusing to pay 108 million, and the German club will not drop their price, so the Reds will switch their sights on a move for Bale instead. He's barely kicked a ball for Real Madrid this year. United inquired this time last year about Bale, but were put off by the former Tottenham star's 600 grand a week wages. They would prefer to take Bale on loan rather than buy him outright for 22 million, as long as Real share the cost of his massive pay packet. Now, I have no doubt Gareth Bale is potentially on a list for Manchester United of potential targets. And if you can get him with Real Madrid paying a large percentage of his wages, because, You know, if you look at Gareth Bale at Real Madrid at the moment, it reminds me of Alexis Sanchez at Manchester United. You know, they're kind of going to need to pay to get rid of him at the moment now because of his wages, and they're so ridiculous. And maybe it's going to be loan deals. We heard Spurs were linked with him. We've heard other, you know, obviously United are going to be grabbed into that mix. But I couldn't see anything like that happening until maybe the last 2-3 days of the window, to be totally honest with you. I think United will be going all out for Jadon Sancho. And it could be a brief where United are showing Dortmund we've got alternatives in the pipelines, or alternatively, it could just be a load of shite. And I'd probably go with the latter. I can't see United signing Gareth Bale or even considering it until the last week in the window. Robbie Fowler inside saying, don't despair, first Spurs fans. Mourinho has been very cunning with his summer shopping. They brought in, why is Giovanni Lassalso there? They already had him. Matt Doherty, Joe Hart and Pierre Hoyt. Nah, sorry bro. There's some dead signings. Joe Hart. Matt Doherty's not, actually. That's unfair. And Højbjerg's not a bad player, but cunning or broke? Cunning or broke? I think their man are broke. That's it, really. That's it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed Maguire will stay as Man United captain. Last month, Maguire was given suspended prison sentence in Greece after being found guilty of aggravated assault, resisting arrest and repeated attempts of bribery. Jesus, that's a list, isn't it? He's going to be our captain. He's handled it really well, and of course, I'll be here to support him. We'll just leave Harry and his people to let the process run. He's an absolute top human being and has always been a positive guy with the right values. So I really hope we can see Harry performing at his best. And I am glad the club have stood beside Harry Maguire and are standing beside him as we find it, because it seems like a dodgy case, that whole thing. But compare the reaction of that Maguire doing allegedly aggravated assault, resisting arrest and repeated attempts of bribery, and compare that with the reaction of some sections of the media. None of the papers that I have here in front of me have covered it, which I'm glad to see. But then look at the Sun's reaction to Mason Greenwood for inviting 2 girls into his room on international duty. Mason deserved to get punished, but the reaction and the fallout from that, from sections of the media, tell you all you need to know about the state of the British press. I'm not even going to go into it because that's what they want. They want to get us angry and that, but can't stand them. What else is going on in here? Foxes can be lions. Play well and you'll be in the frame for England. Just imagine if social media was around in '98. I dread to think how abuse would have affected Bex. I've spoken about that before, and it's proper true, man. Emil Heskey saying that in the paper. Emil Heskey is one that had a bad time from the media, didn't he? Proper bad time from the media. So that's the Mirror right there. A lot of talk about Gareth Bale coming in and all that stuff. Obviously, a few of the results from yesterday's football: Fulham 0, Arsenal 3. I think Fulham are one of those teams that are going straight back down. Probably going straight back down with the baggies. Brucey got 3 points away from home against West Ham. Callum Wilson scoring and Hendrick scoring as well. His 2 new signings getting a goal on their debuts in the Premier League for Newcastle. Brucey killing it. What a guy. But yeah, those are a few of the results. Palace beat Southampton. I had Southampton down for that one, to be honest with you. So bit surprised at that. But a good result for Crystal Palace nevertheless. And there's a few games that are still to come in game week 1. Brighton, Chelsea, Sheffield United, Wolves, etc. And then more on Liverpool beating Leeds 4-3. Oh, Liverpool getting 3 points. Penalty at the end. It was a stonewall penalty, to be fair, but they could have just got off to the start dropping points. Would have been a nice start, wouldn't it? Anyway, on to the Express here. We got more on that Gareth Bale thing right here. Solskjaer prepares to make move for Bale. Man United will launch a sensational swoop for Gareth Bale if they fail to land top target Jadon Sancho. According to sources close to the club, the hierarchy are preparing to turn to the Real Madrid outcast as their long-running hunt for England ace Sancho continues to hit problems. Same story pretty much that we had in the other paper. In regards to Gareth Bale being an alternative for Jadon Sancho, although I don't fancy that personally, if we hadn't signed Jadon Sancho and it was deadline day and we got Gareth Bale on loan, I wouldn't be against it, to be totally honest with you. Mo back with a bang, as we see there. Lamps lays down the COVID law. has worn his Chelsea stars against COVID-19 complacency. All right then. Imagine showing some people some of the headlines we've seen recently in like last year. They would have been like, what the hell are you on about? Alright, we don't want to know more about Liverpool winning, for God's sake. We just don't want to do it. Sick of it already. Lloris, winning ugly makes us even stronger. Gonna have to get used to winning ugly under Jose Mourinho, mate. It's the only way he knows how to win. 20 million Rodriguez out to prove Everton mean business. Everton new boy James Rodriguez hopes to become the Pied Piper of Goodison Park. MH and Piper, Piper. Oh, we're not allowed to sing his tunes, are we? Rodriguez, a spectacular 20 million capture from Real Madrid, says he's ready for action when the Blues face Tottenham. That's going to be a good game. Come on, Everton. Come on, Everton. Anyway, guys, that has been the papers. This one's a bit dead. They've got more here, like Aubameyang's done deal and all that stuff in the sports pages, but Arsenal fans are deluding themselves again, aren't they? Beat Fulham 3-0, now they're going to win the league and shit like that. They're not winning the league, are you mad? Because all these boys are winning the league, obviously. This is the time where we could all be hopelessly deluded until we drop points opening day of the season against Palace. But nevertheless, guys, thank you for tuning in to Stretford Paddock. Make sure you're keeping it locked, liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing as well. And while you're here and while you're at it, I've put a link in the description below for my channel. I'm trying to hit 100k by the end of the year. I'm on around 86. You guys can help me reach it by clicking subscribe. Go and do that. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I've been Adam McCullough. This has been Gazzetta United. We're out of here.